Hello, everyone. This is Alan Whitford speaking to you from RCEURO. I have with me today Daniel Christian from QX Ltd. and one of our RCEURO recruitment thought leader conversations. Daniel, how are you today?
I'm good, Alan. Thank you. How are you?
Very good, very good. Daniel, thanks very much for joining us. QX Ltd. It's got some really interesting services that you deliver to the recruitment marketplace and other marketplaces. You're obviously based here in the UK, but I think a lot of your team is based in India. Why don't you tell me a little bit about about QX, what you do, and why are you different than some of the other guys out there?
Sure. We are a UK-based business process outsourcing organization, a leading recruitment industry specialist. Over the last 7 years, we have delivered finance and accounting BPO services to some of the top 5 AIM-listed organizations in the UK. We also run a highly efficient recruitment process outsourcing model. We are 230 in India and 7 in the UK. The Indian operation is 100% subsidiary of QX Ltd in the UK, and we employ, from an F&A BPO perspective, we employ a minimum graduate degree, accountancy degree qualified staff in India. In the RPO space, we employ people who are qualified in various disciplines. For example, we have a client who are into the healthcare market, and they employ people who are minimum degree qualified, who speak business intelligent English, and who have the soft skills to interact with clients and candidates in the UK market. So our clients use our services primarily for 2 reasons. From a cost reduction perspective, we guarantee at least 50% savings to UK in-house accounting, finance and accounting back office costs, as well as resourcing costs. So from a cost perspective, it is at least 50% cheaper. Also, because we have the flexibility to upscale or descale, from a growth perspective, we offer opportunities for clients to service overflow work where it is there is a challenge to service high volume, low margin type activity in the UK. We will provide them cost efficient, highly skilled, qualified, trained, and motivated staff in India who will work exactly as their staff in the UK would work, but at a significantly low overhead cost structure.
So I think what you're saying, Daniel, is quite a differentiator from what people might perceive to be a services operation from India. You're not a call center. You're not just a bunch of nameless, faceless people. If I'm XYZ recruitment company, then this is really my staff. They just don't happen to be based here in London or in Liverpool or Manchester. They just happen to be based in India, but they're my dedicated staff. Is that right?
Absolutely. Outsourcing to India, it started about a decade ago, and when it started, it was termed as business process outsourcing. So a lot of American businesses started outsourcing their transactional type, telemarketing type work to India, and it has evolved from BPO to knowledge process outsourcing, which in India is termed as KPO. QX is a KPO. We employ knowledge workers. They are highly skilled, qualified, and dedicated people working exclusively for our clients. So this is not a shared services operation. This is a one-to-one relationship. So our clients, they employ people in India and they work exclusively for the client. We don't share resources of one client with the other. unless we have a written consent from the client in terms of moving them from from one department to the other.
I think that's a terrific differentiator, and certainly in what people's minds are of services that are being outsourced, whether they're being near sourced to Bulgaria or Czech Republic, or whether they're being outsourced to India or China. There is that perception, isn't there, that
Yes.
it's just going off into that sort of black hole, and hopefully the work comes back. And what I've liked about, and I've talked with you guys, is that you really are doing something quite different. And I love that phrase, knowledge process outsourcing, because that is really it. Now, I would say that some people might ask the question, well, that's great, but I have outsourced my knowledge. How do I get it back? What happens when we end our relationship with QX? Is it the same as if I had, say, fired my accountant here in the UK? I mean, the knowledge and the information is all mine, right?
Absolutely. They work as good as your team, and therefore they work as per the client's HR policies and training methodology. So all the knowledge which is transferred, all the information which is transferred is basically documented, and there is always a backup staff in case of redundancy. So if someone leaves, for example, for any reason, there is someone within the organization who has the knowledge about the processes and systems, and obviously everything is documented. So from a transition perspective, it is fairly straightforward.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, a lot of your clients are in the recruitment industry, and that's how we actually met, is because of that. But is there any reason that you couldn't be doing this service for any type of company or any type of industry?
Accounting is accounting, whether it is recruitment or non-recruitment business. So debits are debits, credits are credits. Our background is a recruitment industry over the past 7 years, but we have diversified significantly over the last 18 months into student accommodation, facilities management, and logistics and supply chain, and a number of other sectors. So recruitment, however, is our primary sector. But as far as our marketing concerns and our industry diversification concerns, we have been moving into other sectors quite heavily over the last 18 months.
Okay, and now you're up in Yorkshire, which I'm sure must have been a challenge when you first moved over here from a climate perspective. But where else are your clients? I think you've got operations in New Zealand as well. Is that right?
We run a umbrella company as part of the QX group, and we are expanding into outside the UK region, and we are looking at current opportunities within the Australasian markets. So going forward, the plans are to grow in the Australasian markets. Yes.
Okay, and again, I guess it doesn't really matter where the end client is, because you've got the very solid service and workforce in India, and communications facilities today are quite strong, aren't they, from the telecom side?
Yes, the Center of Excellence, the Global Service Delivery Center, is based out of Ahmedabad, which is the central west of India. But from a connectivity perspective, we use International Private Leased Circuit, which is an international telecoms telephony, really. And it's not an Indian number. We use a UK switch. So clients and candidates, they call us on a UK number and vice versa. So when the team in India make calls, the calls are made effectively from a Skipton number or non-geographic number, which is 087 or 0845 number.
Right. So I think to wrap up, you're right. It's a very interesting approach. You have a dedicated team of finance people, of accountants, who could be sitting literally in the room next door. The room next door just happens to be a few thousand kilometers away, but they are next door, and their phone lines are there, the work service is there, and obviously the hours are there. So I love this approach. It's the knowledge process outsourcing. It's a very cost-effective means. It sounds like I'm doing your sales pitch now, but I think it's a great service that you've got, and I'm looking forward to seeing how QX Limited continues to develop here in the UK and elsewhere. Anything else you'd like to add, Daniel? How can people find you? What's your email address, or what's the best way for people to get hold of you?
The best way of getting in touch with us is send us an email on contact@qxltd.com, or email myself at daniel@qxltd.com, or call us on 0870 803 1033.
Okay, that's great. Well, I appreciate your taking the time to spend with me today, Daniel, and hope you have a great weekend. I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you very much, Alan.
Thanks.